I think that this is the most gorgeous adventure bike that's ever been built.
That's disappointing. That's incredibly disappointing.
Old sport touring might as well be incel touring, okay?
If you put exhaust on this thing, it's just gonna sound like a piece of crap. If loud pipes save lives, call me the Highlander on this thing. I'm living forever.
Hey! Do you want a Harley Davidson? Do you want that Harley Davidson to look like a Trapper Keeper from 1992? And do you want that Harley Davidson for 25 bucks with 100% of the proceeds going to charity? Well, if that's what you want, you better grab a ticket for the Miami Device. We're giving away the Square Grouper here soon. This Road Glide, completely custom done, Öhlins suspension, Brembo brakes, powder coated everything, a sound system that'll make your neighbors hate you, and this bike could be your bike. 100% of the proceeds are going to Forgotten Angels to fund Kira Adderley's House for Women. That's going to be the house behind me. We're getting it ready right now with all of your help. Every single dollar spent buying a raffle ticket for this bike goes directly to help young women who have aged out of the foster care system and have children themselves. 100% of your money goes directly to Forgotten Angels to help these young women and these young men have their very first chance at life. And you know what? You might just win that Road Glide back there on top of it. But wait, that's not all. Maybe you don't like Harley Davidsons, but you still want a tricked out bike with Öhlins suspension and every single part in the book on it. Say hello to my little friend. Oh, well, yeah, if the Road Glide isn't your speed, maybe you'd like Mighty Joe Young over here. The decked out monkey, Öhlins front and rear, billet aluminum swing arm. This thing rips. Stay tuned afterwards for more on these two bikes. Without further ado, let's get into the video. What's up, Weirdo? Shade Tree Surgeon here, up here at Bert's Barracuda, and you know what time it is. It's never time for just Harley Davidsons at Bert's Barracuda, which is something I really appreciate about the way that old Bert does business up here, whereas most people will send all their metric bikes and anything that they get that's not a Harley off to auction and just get $1 for it. Bert keeps them on the floor, so you got options when you come in here. When I say you got options, you got lots of options, because they take anything on trade. Usually they draw the line, if they have to feed it, they don't take it on trade. But as long as they don't have to put out a litter box for it, they will take it in on trade. Baseball cards, firearms, boats, classic Corvettes, you name it, bring it on in. And most of the time you'll find it for sale out on the floor too, instead of it heading out to auction, which I think is pretty cool. I will tell you, it's not that rare to see a Corvette in the parking lot of a Harley Davidson dealership, though a little more rare to see one for sale. And it's really not even that rare to see a boat in the parking lot of a Harley Davidson dealership. What I will tell you that you don't often see for sale at a Harley Davidson dealership, at least I've never seen one for sale ever, is a Husqvarna. I don't know if you can see it nestled back there, but that's a pretty dang cool bike that I've been wanting to throw a leg over for a really long time. And that's one of the things I love about Bert's, man, is I can come up here and get the full experience, man. Every bike from every manufacturer, and yeah, it's mostly Harleys, but Harleys he does have are pretty badass too, so I ain't complaining. And I'm certainly gonna take advantage of getting to ride a Husqvarna Norden 901. I've been wanting to do that for a while. Let's check it out. The Husqvarna Norden 901. Do I know that it's just a fancy KTM? Yeah, of course I know that. But just because you know something doesn't mean you have to pay attention to it. It doesn't mean you have to think about it every second. Just like most people who've had motorcycles at a formative time in their lives, my very first dirt bike was a Husqvarna as well, and it was also a rebadged Husqvarna. It was just a BMW 450X that they slapped Husky on. Husqvarna's changed hands more times than a short king who just got sent upriver to the penitentiary for tax fraud. They're all over the place, but there is something that, in my opinion, they have always done well when they're getting used and abused by the big boys. No matter how hard they gotta bend over and use somebody else's stuff, they always make it their own, and I really dig that about Husky. I don't know who's in charge in the design department over there, but ever since my very first Husqvarna, which was my TE449, which I thought was the most gorgeous dirt bike ever made. Now, was it a good dirt bike? That's debatable, but it was certainly beautiful. Is this a good motorcycle, the Norden 901? You know, I guess with all the problems with camshafts they're having on the KTM 890s, that's probably also debatable, but I will say this. Outside of the Ducati Multistrada, which splits people right down the middle, I think that this is the most gorgeous adventure bike that's ever been built. As far as pure class goes, we'll of course have to give a nod to the original BMW GS, and it certainly got stiff competition in my mind anyway, also from the Scrambler 1200, but god dang, dude, this is a beautiful bike, in my opinion. I think it also splits a lot of people down the middle, but I usually fall on the side of liking it when that happens. The bike is unapologetic in its styling, it's unapologetic in how tall it is. This thing comes up to my belly button, and I'm 5'12" and a half of all-American beef, 300 pounds of twisted steel, and sex appeal with a body that women love and men fear. I love everything about this bike. Well, I love everything about it looking at it. To me, this thing is every inch curb appeal. Husqvarna just does it right. I'm their target audience. I think that this looks gorgeous. Everything from the way the seat is to the yellow on the black, the yellow on the blue here, just like this deep blue is so gorgeous. They saw my ass coming from down the street. Now, with as good as I think it looks, let's see if that hype translates to the engine too. We're working with a 900cc or 890 if you ask KTM, 901 if you ask Husky. Don't ask me how they figured that one out. Let's see if that engine excites me as much moving the bike down the road as the excitement I get from looking at it standing still. This thing is unapologetically tall. Doesn't get that much shorter when you take it off the side stand. Of course, I'm wearing my Adventure Spec Adidas today, but yeah, I'm tippy-toed on this thing. I can't flat-foot it. I love that, though. I absolutely love that. Let me tell you what, if you got a shape like me, and that shape being round, you want a tall bike. It's a good look. It's like wearing stripes, all right? It slims you down. Why do you think I like hanging out with Blissful Ellie? They call us meatball and spaghetti. I'm not gonna lie, I am either going to be really disappointed after a test ride on this thing, or really disappointed. Really disappointed because I've been looking forward to a test ride for so long, so if it lets me down, it's gonna be such a bummer. Or really disappointed after a test ride because it lived up to the hype I had in my head, and there's no way I can actually afford one of these things. So far, so good. I love the stance. Oh man, my sciatic was killing me. There's just something about that sit up and beg, that stance on an adventure bike that just makes my back pain disappear. I need an adventure bike in my living room to watch TV on, okay? I need one of these at the movie theater. Sitting down anywhere else besides a motorcycle seat is torture for me. I don't really question why that is. I'm just thankful because usually sitting down anywhere besides a motorcycle seat is okay. It's torture for me anyway, but the physical torture, it at least is relieved when I get on a bike, along with mental. Well, maybe those two are going hand in hand. And speaking of, this thing rips. Boys, I gotta say, at first blush, it is immediately living up to the hype I had in my head. Oh yeah, I like this a lot. I love it. I love it. That's disappointing. That's incredibly disappointing because I can't afford one. I really, really like this. I don't know what it is about the Huskies. Maybe it's because I'm husky. Whatever it is, they got my number. I'm immediately ready to ride across the country on this thing at a very high rate of speed, on-road or off. That feels like it'd be a big old chunky pig off-road, but you know, my normal off-road rig is my KTM 300XCW, so pretty much everything feels like a chunky pig to that. Once you've whipped around the trails in a sugar sand on a 240-pound 300cc two-stroke, anything you get on after that, including like a 454 stroke, they all feel big and clumsy compared to that. So ultimately, it doesn't really matter to me. Everyone's just like, oh, this one's so big and this one's so heavy. I can't really tell a difference. When it comes to an adventure bike,
I don't know. It doesn't really feel that different from riding anything else off-road. Like my Sportster, like old dirty bastard, my Sportster adventure bike, it doesn't feel that different either. It's just everything else about this that feels so good. And maybe it's the color, maybe it's the white. I don't know. What is Husqvarna doing? Is this the iPod effect? Is this just put it in fancy packaging and make it white and Shade Tree Surgeon's gonna want to buy it? Oh! Pulling up that wheel in second gear, baby. It's got a beat. I can dance to it. It definitely goes ramming speed. I mean, if it doesn't power wheelie on accident when you hit second gear, is it even an adventure bike? Come on. Oh, I love this thing. I immediately love it. This is why I'm not a good bike reviewer, because I instantaneously love this motorcycle. Yeah, plenty of grunt in sixth gear. Yeah. 80 miles an hour, spinning 5,000 RPM. That's just perfect, man. I love this bike. I really, really like it. Dude, we got some freaking, I don't know what any of these buttons do. That's also why I'm a bad bike reviewer. Can I, like, switch modes? We got, like, a sport mode or something? Well, if there is, I don't know how to do it. Oh, well, it's fast enough. We'll go ahead and say if they're knocking off Apple for the packaging, they're not exactly knocking off Apple when it comes to being user-friendly. It is not immediately apparent to this Luddite, drunk on Luddite juice, what buttons do what, but as long as that throttle works, I'm a happy camper. And that throttle does work. Oh, the handle's like a freaking razor blade, baby. This thing is dangerous. That's what I always say. Adventure bikes, they're just sport bikes for fat dudes. And I take full advantage of that fact. The thing about ADV bikes, man, it's just like a big, chunky supermoto. You can lean these things over so damn far. Stop good. It go good. It doesn't sound good. It sounds like a sewing machine. I don't even know what these things sound like with exhaust on them. Right now, there's nothing to write home about. It's not going to get you laid, that's for sure. But adventure bikes, they were never about getting you laid, man. If you're trying to get laid on one of these, I don't know, maybe nowadays you could. It seems like adventure bikes are kind of taking off. They're getting really popular right now. But, back in the day, that was not the case. Oh, what is that? Freaking traction control? Where's my wheelies at? Oh, that's a bummer. That's all the wheelie will let you do before it shuts you down. There's got to be a way to turn that off. I love it. Now, I know they had problems, and they have the same camshaft problems that the KTMs did, where the camshafts are made out of hot cheese or something like that, mozzarella camshafts. I forget exactly what was going on with that. I know they were dicking people around a lot, and so that would suck, because everything else about this is awesome. Kind of hard to trust a bike to take you out in the bush and all over this country off paved roads and outside of cell service when, you got some freaking faulty camshafts staring you in the face, pointing both barrels at you. Boy, this thing rips. The Africa Twin, it ain't. I remember being kind of disappointed in the Africa Twin. I mean, it was a great bike, but it just wasn't as fast as I thought it was going to be. This bike is as fast as I thought it was going to be. There's no way, dude. This would put an Africa Twin's dick in the dirt. And for me, it puts its dick in the dirt in every single way. Except probably reliability, but I don't know anything about that. So at first blush, just shooting from the hip without a rubber on. Cross your fingers and go for plan B. With that kind of attitude, this beats the Africa Twin every which way from Sunday. In my opinion, anyway. Now, put 100,000 miles on them, you might be singing a different song, but we're not putting 100,000 miles on it today. Today, we're shooting from the hip, baby. And hunting is good. How disappointing. How incredibly disappointing this motorcycle is. I feel like it would have been less disappointing if it sucked, but it doesn't suck. I love it. That sucks, man. Oh, well. Wish in one hand, shit in the other. At least thanks to Birch, I get to ride it around and see what it would be like to own one of these. I'll probably ask what they're selling it for, but part of me doesn't even want to know. I know it cannot be cheap.
Well, continuing in the vein of motorcycles that will not get you laid, I guess that's the theme for today, we have the Yamaha, what do they even call this? It's just another version of their 900 triple that they threw parts at. Well, this one looks a little better than the Yamaha usually does when they're making parts bin bikes. This is the Tracer. The Tracer GT, which is that legendary 900cc Yamaha triple, but in sport touring form. Now, in the motorcycle world, sport touring might as well be incel touring, okay? Even if you want to get laid on a motorcycle like this, I don't think it's gonna happen. ST, celibate. I guess unless it's a lowrider ST, but regardless of all that, I really like it. I like that you've got this brawler of an engine that had a rep that was so hard, so bare knuckle, that when this first came out and got put into motorcycles, of course talking about the MT-09, that customers who bought it, they were taking it back to the Yamaha dealership and complaining about it because it was doing wheelies too easily, just accidental wheelies all over the place. It was too powerful and too aggressive, and everyone's like, yo, Yamaha, you need to calm this thing down. I love that they wrapped a sport touring package around an engine like that. Now, of course, I would assume that they probably calmed it down a little bit, but what once was can be again, and I'll assume that you can make it rowdy again if you so choose, and I would so choose. That's me though, man. I always got kind of a soft spot for motorcycles that make one dude happy, and that's me, because ain't no girl excited to see this pull up in front of her house. That's all right though. This thing don't even need a back seat. It's gonna make me happy. I love the fact that it's got bags, a windshield, and a way more comfortable seating situation, but still with that 900 Yamaha engine. And as excited as I was about the Husqvarna 901, I think that 900cc triple in this bike is gonna blow it out of the water. I really just don't think there's gonna be any comparison whatsoever. 3 cylinders, it's not always, but almost always. The 3 cylinders, the multi-cylinder, it's just gonna kill the parallel twin. And I really love triples. I think they bridge the gap between the torque of a twin and the horsepower of an inline 4. I think really it's an awesome configuration, and they should put it in more bikes. Only problem is when you put exhaust on them, they sound like a clapped out Honda Civic pulling up to high school shop class, but you can't have it all, I guess. I guess we'll just file that one under making me happy. Let's see how this thing rides. Yeah, unsurprisingly, it starts with a whimper, not a bang. But I've only ridden one of these one time before this, and when I did, yeah, I liked it a lot. Damn, dude, this thing is brand new. 655 miles on it? God damn.
Somebody got this thing and was just like, nah, I want a street glide instead, which, don't get me wrong, I like street glides. There's nothing wrong with them whatsoever, but they are very, very different motorcycles. And it's got a quick shifter. Oh, they're not even trying to pretend, dude. They're not even trying to pretend. This is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Does it have a quick downshift too? Oh, it does. It does. Hell yeah. Yamaha knew what they were doing. And, you know, one part of you can say, like, well, they're just freaking throwing a couple bags in a different seating position and a little bit of different plastic bodywork on a motor and a chassis that already exists and calling it a sport touring bike. But I don't know. I think that they knew what they were doing. We're going to take this bare knuckle brawler and we're going to stick some bags on it. And all those dads out there that are promising their wives, they're going to stop riding sport bikes. They're going to put away the Gixxers and the R1s. They're going to be good boys now. They're going to They're gonna get a dad bike. They got kids now, after all, and the wife is giving them a hard time. She doesn't want them out running with the boys, popping wheelies and going 140 miles an hour running from the cops, okay? You got responsibilities now, Dad. You can't do that anymore. Out there on your Gixxers and your wife beaters and your Icon helmets. Yeah, well, when you come home with this, it doesn't look like you're gonna be going fast. It looks like you're gonna be a nice, responsible dad. Yeah, very responsible. I will say, from the MT-09 that I rode, it definitely does not feel as raw as that bike did. What I did back there just now, it would have already had the front end high in the air. So they've definitely chilled this out, even in sport mode. But I'd be willing to bet you can make it remember what it lost. And just because it ain't ripping the front wheel right in the air like the first one I rode was, that doesn't mean this thing ain't fast. And I will tell you, I wouldn't even put exhaust on it. I think that the intake roar of the 3-cylinder sounds plenty good enough. If you put exhaust on this thing, it's just going to sound like a piece of crap. I don't think that any triple in the world, well, you know, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I love the way my Rocket 3 sounds, and I love a few other triples, but I don't know, I'm not everybody. I think that most people would agree that most inline 3-cylinders sound like doo-doo. They produce the brown note. And the MT-09, or the Yamaha Tracer GT, is no exception. So just enjoy that intake roar, which sounds quite good, and leave that exhaust alone. And I say that. I would probably still put a pipe on it. Probably would, if I'm being honest. I just wouldn't be able to stop myself. Yeah, instantly off the rip, I can feel it doesn't quite have the torque that the Husky 901 did, but oh, it makes up for that on the top end. That is for damn sure. And it's still got plenty of torque, don't get me wrong. All of a sudden, it seems hard to remember what it was like just a few seconds ago when I was starting out, when you hit that 10,000 RPM. This bike has got it in spades, baby. I dig it. And even though it's not as fast as the OG MT-09, it's still plenty fast enough to destroy the Husky. It just wouldn't be able to compete with a multi-cylinder bike like this. I guess that's the difference. Look at everything you get from a Japanese brand. That's what people are always talking about, why they hate Harley. You get something from a Japanese brand or somewhere else, and you already get all the cool goodies and the tech. You got a quick shifter and bags and everything else. You know, you don't get none of that stuff on the Husky, but you still probably pay a whole lot more for the Husqvarna Norden 901 than you would for this bike brand new. I gotta tell you, I'd probably still pick the Husky. I really like this bike, and it is hella fast, but I don't know, man. That Husky really just spoke to me. This is definitely the smarter choice. It's definitely the smarter choice, the more economical choice, the thinking man's choice. It's faster, it handles better, it's probably more reliable, its dealer network is much more robust. Oh, that quick shifter, that could change my mind. Of course, you can put a quick shifter on a bike. Oh, this thing handles freaking great too, man. I was a little light on torque down low. Or maybe it was just that the Husky was making so much torque down low, but I have to be a little bit higher than I expected. It wants to be above 6,000 RPM to really come alive. I wonder if that's some new emission shit, or maybe that's them neutering it because everyone was bitching about the wheelies. I would try to fix that, because I hate to keep referencing a bike that's not here, but the original MT-09 that I rode did not have any of those anemic issues under 6,000 RPM, dude. It was ready to rock and roll from 1,000 RPM or 1,500, wherever this thing idles at. The power band was a real flatty. Still, comfortable as all get out, fast as hell, handles like a dream. What's not to love, baby? And I imagine the price tag on this is pretty low compared to a lot of other things. These were always bargain bikes, and I don't know how Yamaha got away with selling them so damn cheap, but they did. When they came out with the MT-09, it was just one of the most affordable bikes out, and they ripped. They were just monsters. And, you know, maybe they didn't have the best suspension. This one's got inverted forks and freaking nice Yamaha brakes, and you know, it's got all the fanciest stuff on it, so you're probably gonna pay a premium for it, that's for sure. But it's a premium over an MT-09 is still pretty damn cheap compared to a lot of other things. I think for a while there, and probably still even now, because God, they were so cheap. I think they were going out the door around $10,000 back in the day. I gotta imagine the used markets on the MT-09 are, first off, Yamaha sold 1 million of them. Second off, they were so damn cheap, I can't imagine they're fetching tons of dollars in the used market. What a rocket ship for the dollar. Talk about bang for your buck. Hard to beat this motorcycle. Or, well, this engine. I don't know specifically about the Yamaha Tracer, the sport touring package, but this 3-cylinder 900, very hard to beat. And of course, being the vile hipster that I am, the one I liked the best was always the XSR 900. I thought that thing just looked so damn cool in the yellow and black Yamaha livery. I imagine those might still fetch a little bit of a premium over the other ones, but you could get an MT-09, or back when they called them FZ-09s, you could probably get one of those for freaking pennies on the dollar. It's like the ultimate bike to fool your wife or fool your mom or your girlfriend or whoever into thinking that you made a choice that's reasonable, because even the naked versions of these don't look fast. Now, when they put those stupid little transformer faces on them, I hate that. They looked a little sportier, but before that, when they just had the single front headlight, they look like every other bike, man. Just your standard UJM, Universal Japanese Motorcycle. Nothing to see here, folks. Really a stealth vehicle, man. A total sleeper. Yeah, I like it a lot. And if I was smart, I'd ask how much this bike costs, but nobody ever accused me of being smart. And if they did accuse me of being smart, well, them's fighting words, baby. I don't take such heinous accusations lightly, okay? I'm Shade Tree Surgeon, goddammit. I got a reputation to maintain. Pistols at dawn, knave.
Well, behind door number 3, we're going a lot lower, both in stature and in price. It's the case of the incredible shrinking motorcycle. The first bike I rode was above my belly button. This one's below my balls. We still might be firmly in the lane of a bike that won't get you laid, but at least this one's a little bit closer to doing it than the previous two, which might sound weird considering it's technically a beginner bike, but it's definitely got the look over the other two, if not the sportiness. Now, I've always been really keen to test out one of these Kawasaki's because it has the 650 Ninja engine in it. Now, I don't know if that engine's worth a damn because I've never ridden one, but I always kind of like the idea that they took their sport bike engine and stuck it in a cruiser. Now, I just wish they'd do it with the 4-cylinder engine. Then we'd really have an eliminator, but taking sport bike engines and putting them into cruisers is something that Kawasaki has always done. Started with the original Ninja GP-Z 900, which became the Eliminator 900, and I just wish they'd bring that back because I thought it was such a cool concept. Just taking sport bike engines and sticking them into cruisers with nothing changed. Well, they did bring it back, just unfortunately they only brought it back with the twin-cylinder 650. That doesn't mean it's a bad bike. I've heard that they rip. Shea Lisi rented one of these once out in California and she wasn't crazy about it, but I want to reserve judgment till I throw a leg over one. I know there's a lot of people who watch who have these motorcycles and they all rave about them. When Shea Lisi said she didn't like it, a bunch of people were butthurt because they love their bike. So you might still be butthurt because I might hate it, but I'll give you my honest opinion. Whether it's a good opinion or not, I guess that's up to you, but it'll be honest. Hell yeah. Well, it ain't no Eliminator 900, but let's see what this sucker's made of. Certainly sounds the part. Feels nice, man.
I can't believe Shea Lisi was able to ride this thing. That's one of the tricks that Kawasaki pulled with this. Somehow they made this thing able to fit someone like me at a towering 5'12.5", and at the same time, Shea Lisi at 4'11" had no problem riding it around all around California. What kind of engineering magic they gotta do to pull that off, I don't know, but it's pretty damn cool. Same kind they pull off with the Gold Wing, because Shea Lisi has a Gold Wing as well, and she fits on it just fine, and so do I. It's beyond my ken. Might as well be magic to me. Even if it's not fast, baby, they're gonna hear you coming, that's for sure. Dude, I'm shocked at how comfortable it is. Now, the sound it's making is not super comfortable, man. Trust me, I love an exhaust. I don't want to bitch too much, but okay, I really don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be if it's too loud, you're too old, but This thing is loud. This thing had to have belonged to a kid. Hey, good on you. I'm sure that kid had an awesome time being a neighborhood nightmare, terrorizing the hood with this thing. I'm sure, I am positive the entire block hated him. And I probably would too, but since I didn't have to live next to him, I just love the idea of it. I'm going to tell you right now, though, I'm looking forward to getting off this thing. Golly, it's loud. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to give my honest opinion on it because it's so loud that I can't really focus on anything else. I don't know, it's really comfortable. It's not as fast as I thought it was going to be. Well, it's not as fast as I hoped it would be. I was hoping it would shock me or surprise me when I got on it or something. And, you know, at 100 pounds, Shay Lisi at 100 pounds, and most people who get these things are a little smaller. Probably a lot faster with them on it than my fat ass. All right, open it up a little bit. We're doing a little better here. Or it's just making a whole lot of noise. I'm not sure exactly which one it is. It is comfortable enough to ride across the country. And it is so uncomfortable of a sound that I don't want to ride it another mile. If loud pipes save lives, call me the Highlander on this thing. I'm living forever. I keep searching for another gear. I'm like, surely it can't be this loud cruising at 65 miles an hour. Surely there must be another gear. There isn't. I'm surprised. I thought that the front end has got kind of a weird rake to it. Some Suzukis and Kawasaki's or little cruisers got that kind of raked out front end that give it a little bit of flop at low speeds, but I will tell you, it freaking handles great moving down the road. I don't know. I guess super low speed handling ain't a big deal. It's not a dirt bike. It's a cruiser. I'm actually shocked at how easy it falls into a turn. That's quite nice. It was quite nice. And then I start accelerating again. And we're back to misery. I will say, for all my Vulcan guys out there, for all the Vulcan 650 guys and gals out there, this is a good bike. I like it. It handles really well. It feels really peppy, like quick and snappy. I like this motorcycle. Handles like a dream, low to the ground, comfortable at, I assume, any size. Seen that as I'm 300 pounds, 5'12 and a half, and also Shay Lisi can ride it easily. If you have this bike, you have a good bike. I just don't particularly love this one with this exhaust. Normally, I want to get off motorcycles up here at Burt's because I'm so tempted to buy them. I just want to get off of this one because I don't want tinnitus.
We ride nothing but Japanese bikes today, but I always gotta pick out a couple of my favorite Harley Davidsons too. Even though I did this last time, I think this one's gonna also win an honorable mention. A Road Glide in a police package. You don't see those as often. You see the Road Kings, you see the Street Glides, but to see the fixed fairing Road Glide with the short bags, the 114, the tractor seat, and the fixed fairing all together, I dig it, man. One of my favorite things Harley Davidson has started doing is putting the tubeless wired wheels on the street bobs. I think it's such a good look, man. I love the classic look of wired wheels, but I haven't had a few blowouts. I hate dealing with tubes. On top of that, this freaking purple, this matte purple, I'd love that Harley's bringing back purple. Such a good look. 2025, Harley Davidson's bringing back purple and chrome. Not what most people would have expected, but it's right up my alley. This breakout over here is chrome and yellow enough to be as loud as the Kawasaki Vulcan was, but I think my favorite is gonna have to be this guy up here. If there's such a thing as being too loud with the engine off, this bike might achieve it. And that's something I can dig. So if I had to pick one bike that's a Harley Davidson from today, I think it's gonna be Goldie over there. There are many Road Glides. This one just happens to be extra tubular, dude. Mondo Tubuloso. Let's get some tunes jamming that are appropriate for the situation.
I don't care who you are, man. There's just something about having a speaker on a motorcycle. I never thought I'd care about having a sound system on a bike till I experienced the Miami sound system. I think it's the whole package that really does it for me, though. It's the acid trip, trapper, keeper, cocaine, cowboy paint job paired with the loud speakers and everything else that's loud about this bike. That's what really does it for me. It just seems like the type of bike that should be blasting tunes, and that it does. As good as the sound system is, the exhaust on it too, it's just nice and easy when you want it to be, but when you crack it wide open, baby, they know you're coming. There are some bikes I miss more than others when we end up picking a winner for them from these raffles. I am really going to miss this one. I never really thought I'd want a road glide till I rode this thing. We've never given one away before, you know, besides, unless you count the one at Burt's, but I've never given away one for Forgotten Angels that I've really spent some time with. This is my first time really spending a lot of time on a road glide, and I will tell you, now, I get it. And my man Fat and the Furious one, he did this one up right. He's got every part in the book thrown at it, from these Krause risers to this paint job, all these bear trap floorboards. It's literally, this bike has everything. And of course that head unit up there perfectly fits the vibe. Can't get too attached to this thing though, because like I said, pretty soon here, this road glide is going to be one of y'all's road glides. Trust me, I can't afford a road glide either, but even if I could afford one, it wouldn't look like this one, that's for sure. But for 25 bucks, this bike could be your bike. And this raffle is crazy, man. Right now, there is only 700 people who have bought tickets for the raffle. So that's not a 1 in 700 chance, that's a 3 in 700 chance, because we're giving away 3 motorcycles, not just this one. It's going to be the Square Grouper, Mighty Joe Young, and the as of yet unnamed Buell M2 Cyclone. I guess whoever wins it, then I'll give it a name, but as of right now, it's still the horse with no name. Honestly, I feel kind of stupid that it took me this long to get the road glide. I always like the way they look. There's something about this big shark nose fairing that I really, really like. Obviously something that other people like too, seeing as it's very well loved. And whoever's getting this, they are getting a hell of a motorcycle. Loud paint job, loud stereo, loud, well, the exhaust isn't that loud. It's exactly as loud as it should be. And on top of it all, you can feel pretty good about this one. Like I always say, the money you donate to Forgotten Angels doesn't hit any branches on the way down. There's nobody grabbing their piece of the pie. It's going exactly where it should. But hey, maybe you're not a Harley guy. That's okay. I'm not always a Harley guy either. I like bike. That bike doesn't necessarily have to be a Harley Davidson, though I certainly really like this one. Luckily, there is another. Enter Mighty Joe Young, the $1 Million Monkey. It might be a motorcycle that could fit on the back of the road glide, but that'll make it not fun. How can you be on a monkey, pull onto some gravel like this, and not do a foot down turnaround? You don't think there's a human being alive who could hop on a monkey and not immediately have a smile on their face that'll split them ear to ear. These things are just a blast, and it's even more of a blast when it's decked out like this one is. This is just the ultimate camp bike, the ultimate pit bike. Take it with you to motorcycle fest, take it with you camping. It's just the kind of thing that you can throw in the back of the truck. Let's say you're going on a fishing trip, you're going to rent a cabin with a family, anything like that. Man, I don't want to go without a motorcycle, but you also got to take the kids and the wife. Well, this sucker fits right on a trailer hitch mount or right in the bed of your truck. Easy to pack away. Having one of these up in the mountains on the twisty roads, it's a hell of a lot of fun. Me personally, I'd probably put a little tail bag on it and use it to get my morning monsties from the stab and grab. Really is like the perfect little second motorcycle. And I just really like the monkeys too. They've got the coolest look, in my opinion, out of all of them. Well, I don't know. I guess it's a fight between the monkey and the Trail 125, but it's a close thing. I really, really like the monkey. And the fact that the monkey has a clutch instead of the auto clutch on the Trail, that kind of seals the deal for me. Jay Lacey might prefer the Trail over this, but I really like this one. Well, whether you want the $1 Million Mighty Joe Young or the Square Grouper or the Buell, you better make up your mind quick, because as of this video coming out, there's, let's see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Only 3 days. That's 72 hours, and we're pulling the very first winner. If you're a person who likes to wait till the last minute, make sure you grab it now. We'll be doing a live stream this coming Wednesday to pull the winner. We're always back and forth between here and Portland, so I don't know if that's going to be at 9 p.m. Eastern or exactly what time it is. We're shooting for 9 p.m. Eastern, so yeah. From this video coming out, you got about 3 days to grab your ticket. As I said before, there's only 700 people who have officially bought tickets for this, so a 3 in 700 chance is what you got right now. That ain't bad, dude. You don't get those kind of odds winning $5 back on a scratch-off ticket, let alone an entire motorcycle, let alone the fact that the money you're spending on these raffle tickets ain't going to line nobody's pockets. This is going to help people who are in the worst situation that you could possibly imagine. People who have been dealt the worst hand in life. People who need our help more than anybody else here in America, especially nowadays. These young men and women have suffered abuses and horrors and just things that I couldn't even say on YouTube without getting my channel demonetized. They never even got a chance to fail in life. Never even got a chance to fail. I mean, it sounds a little pessimistic saying we're giving them a chance to fail, but there you go, dude. When you're just, failure is assured. When you're falling through the cracks, you're homeless, you have parents who have sexually, physically, mentally abused you, foster parents who've done the same and neglected you, and then you're just made homeless with no life skills, nothing to help you whatsoever at 18 years old, and some of these young women doing it with kids of their own already. In that kind of situation, no, you never even got a chance to fail. Together, feels pretty crazy to say because none of these videos have ever popped off this channel, but together we're changing the world. Huge thanks to Zeus for donating this monkey, and huge thanks to all you guys out there who are helping make this world a better place, one biker at a time. Till next time, y'all, keep it weird.
Crashing through the sky comes a fearful cry. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Armies of the night, evil taking flight. Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Panic spreading far and wide. Can the world oppose the deadliest of foes? Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. Who will risk it all to end the evil call of Shade tree, army. Shade tree, army. They never give up, they never say die, walking tall with banners high. Shade Tree Army, a ruthless gang of scum, villains, freaks, and bikers determined to rule the world.